anyone who has been through a traumatic event can experience PTSD. However, it is a very prevalent issue with our military veterans and those serving as first responders. Our next speaker is a veteran and a KCPD officer who has devoted his life to helping people heal from their traumatic experiences. So Nathan Majors did 2 combat tours to Iraq, including the initial invasion. He's been a police officer for KCPD since 2005. He started his own healing journey in 2014. He says it's been one heck of a long, bumpy road, but totally worth living. He's now the program director for The Battle Within and gets the pleasure of helping other veterans and first responders kickstart their new life, including my husband. So, Nate Majors, come on up.
Whew. Good afternoon. My name is Nathan Majors. Before I get started too far, just know that I have a stutter. I'm totally solid with it. I've lived with it for 39 years now. Feel free to giggle whenever I start it. Just know that if you do, you gotta buy me a beer after this is all over. Fair? All right. Can everyone hear me? Because Mike's and I don't get along. Yeah, I joined the Marine Corps in 2001. Served there until 2005 when I got out. I had two tours over the pond. Had a lot of good times there. I mean, that's one of the things that a lot of folks don't talk about when we talk about going to war. There's a lot of stuff there that happens that is freaking fun. There's also a lot of stuff that happens there, as you all know, that is awful. I lost a whole bunch of guys and gals over there. I came home after my second tour and got out very shortly thereafter. And when I did that, I have a lot of survivor's guilt over the fact that a whole bunch of my people that I trained, that were my people, went over there and I wasn't there. And a lot of them did not come home. And I'll be frank with you, that gutted me on a level that I didn't realize was actually a thing. So in 2005, I joined the Kansas City, Missouri Police Department. I've been with them for about 15 and a half years now. So one of the things I say is I've been there long enough to know what I'm doing and not long enough to know all of it. So let me just tell you a little bit about my journey. When I was in the Marine Corps and through training with KCPD and being a male, when you deal with hard stuff, also forgive me if I slip up and swear, I'm very sorry. When you're dealing with stuff and it's ugly and nasty and terrifying to look at, you're told to stuff it because it makes you look weak. It makes you look pathetic. It makes you look like you can't handle business. So when I would check on my buddies and say, "Hey man, you good?" Their response is always, "Yeah, I'm good." And then same back to me. Coming as far as I am, as far as I've come now, what I realized I was doing back then was asking them if they could still function. Are you bleeding? Are you broken? Can you handle business? The problem with that is that it was killing me. I didn't know it. The things that I thought were good were being hard, being cold, being numb, being able to go on a scene where, I'll just be honest, this past week was hard. We had a guy that we were trying to pull out of a car while he was burning to death until he stopped screaming. because he was trapped. Dealing with things like that on a day-to-day basis. Being able to function afterwards and then make a joke about it, and then go eat a sandwich. I thought that was a good thing. I thought that made me a better human being, a better man, a better leader. Well, I'm here to tell you now that that is complete BS. I ended up sitting on the edge of my bed, staring at my gun, wondering, I wonder what would happen if I did this. Things that stopped me was knowing that my kids would be the ones to find me. And that I can't let happen. So another guy that I know went through a program much like what we do now. And he kept telling me, man, hey dude, this is it, this is it, this is it. And I looked at him and said, no dude, that's some hippy-dippy BS. I ain't doing it. Also, I don't need it. Because I really didn't see it. I did not realize how affected I had been. That is because it has been normalized in our society to just push through because the job's got to be done. And I finally went through a program because I wanted this dude to shut up and stop asking me to go. Turns out it was one of the best decisions I've ever made for myself. Now, when I say for myself, I am including my family, my friends, my children, my dogs, my coworkers, because I am a different man now. I have learned and embraced that being vulnerable is a freaking superpower. Being vulnerable and being okay with approaching another guy who may tell me, go screw yourself. But my job is to plant the seed. That's it. What I've learned is that through this process of being mindful, being open and being raw with other human beings has opened up doors for me. It's opened up doors for the society that I live in every single day. Our program has put approximately 13% of all 1,300 police officers in my city. About 13% of all those officers have come through our program at no charge to them. We also don't take money from any police department or whatever, so that people can't come to us and say, hey, what did Joe Schmo say on day 2 of your program? People, warriors, have a tendency to not trust the people that they work for. And having an outlet for people to come and I'm gonna change my direction a little bit. Here's why it worked for me. People just like me that have been through the same things, that have seen the death, the destruction, that have had people take their own lives, people that struggle at home because I have to deal with this thing at work and now it's affecting me at home and how I deal with my kids. It works because, this program works because it's people just like me that are one step past where I was. So it's not this person that doesn't get it, right? The stigma is changing. And I want to thank you, man, because I know how hard it is to just be open like this. I get it. I do. With the changes that we have with KCPD alone, right? It is not unusual now for us to show up on a scene and give people a hug. It's not unusual for us to walk up to another officer that's hurting and say, hey man, you good? And mean it. And when you get the standard carbon copy answer, you push back on it. Hey man, you good? Yeah man, I'm good. I kind of don't believe you. That opens up so many avenues. So what we do is a 5-day program that, for free, allows veterans and first responders, and to be clear, first responders is a fairly broad subject. So doctors, nurses, dispatchers, our Department of Corrections folks, medics, fire, right? What we've learned in having these hard people come through is that they're the ones that believe that they have to do for others all the time. And our challenge is when you're on an airplane and you lose cabin pressure and the stupid dangly things fall down in front of your face, whose mask are you supposed to put on first? Yours. Why? Because if you pass out, you can't help them. And to be frank, if you try and help them at your not best, you're doing them a disservice. So what we do is offer the opportunity and give these people that don't have it very often the permission to sit in a space and just have that be a space where they can do whatever they need without judgment, knowing that it's not going to get back to anybody. I like your circle thing. One of the things that we use is if I'm walking along and I fall down and I break my arm and I go to the doctor, what's the doctor going to put on my arm? A cast, right? Here's the question: does the cast heal me? No. The cast holds the space for me to heal me. And that's what I want you all to get. Having the permission to understand that I am my own hero. I am the reason that I will heal, and that makes me responsible for it. That empowers others to have the exact same experience. Our secret mission within our organization is to change the world. But we know that we change the world by changing ourselves. I can't change any of you, and I promise you, you can't change me. But what I can do is change me. And when I do that, my environment will change. My family changes. My society changes. Our jobs change. When our jobs change, our culture changes. Our state changes, our country changes, the world changes. One life at a time. It is a long, long, bumpy road. And there's a lot of tears on that road. Because it's freaking hard. But the people that we serve are worth it. And I want you to understand that you're part of that. So, in closing, changing the world happens very, very slowly, but there's nothing in this world that happens fast that is worth it. Nothing. So thank you for being a part of being willing to listen. Because when you are that cast, she's right, you don't have to say anything. You just have to be there at a human level and say, yeah, I get it. That sucks. Thank you guys so, so, so much. Do any of you have questions for me? Thank you guys.